raising the bar. I shoot for the moon, but I'm too busy gazing at stars. I feel amazing and I'm not afraid to take a stand.
Welcome to the level here at the Meadowlands, the track level with Greg Merton, Bob Hayden, and Greg Merton has 11 drives. So before we ask him about some of those horses tonight, we're going to go back and ask him a little bit about himself. Greg, not everybody knows you that well. Where are you from? And give me a little background.
I come from Monticello. Started driving in, I think it was 1988. I drove my first drive. Believe it or not, it was a win. And then just kind of got hooked and took off from there.
That was, what kind of race was that? You mean qualifying or a betting race? Or?
No, it was an amateur race. Back when I started out, we used to have amateurs once a week, you know, and me and my brother Mike, we started in that and kind of went from there with it.
And what about your family involvement here? Who else is involved?
My brother Tommy trains. My sister, she used to train. She drove a little bit, actually, Veronica, and she does very well. That's about it, you know.
And where are you driving right now? What other tracks are you going to be involved with? What does your summer potentially look like?
Right now I'm doing a lot of Plain Ridge on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, here on Saturdays, which thank God everything's going good, so I'm going to just keep that schedule as long as I can.
Are you doing anything differently now than you've done the last 4 or 5 years, or you're just being noticed more?
I think kind of driving a little more patient, you know, giving everybody a chance, listening and watching, you know, and trying to learn as I go, but trying to stay steady at it.
You can be in your 40s and 50s and still learn, right?
In this business, for sure.
You're telling me about Dave Miller is a guy that you like to watch, even now in a race. The guy's he's one of the greatest craftsmen I've ever seen.
Yeah, he definitely does a good job. I mentioned in the interview, I like him. I like his style. Great person. Could talk to him. You know, he just seems to be in the right spot.
Yeah, we had a milestone for you last time. 4,000 career wins with Meadowlands Jate. Take us back to that moment. What was that like?
It felt good, you know, to get it done here. And he's a good old horse, you know. He makes you work for it because he's not big on passing that last horse. And actually, when I wasn't sure if I passed him, but you know, he raced good. It was nice to get it here, and you know, it was nice to be recognized for it.
Do you get comfortable at any point here? Because you don't drive here now. You do, but you haven't driven here as much. Is there a certain level of comfort you have?
You know what? Fortunately, here the guys are all good. You know what I mean? Everybody here is good. They're good to drive with. They're safe. The trainers are good. They put a good, you know, their horses are always fit and ready to go. So that kind of makes the job a lot easier. But I try to stay relaxed and comfortable on the bike. Try not to overthink it too much. Whatever happens, happens.
No wasted movement. That's my recommendation for,
right,
for
exactly.
Let's go to the first race because a veteran 12-year-old Stormin Rustler. You won with him a couple times in the last 5 starts. He pays nice prices. What's this 12-year-old like?
He's actually a pleasure to drive. He does a lot of it himself. You know, I mean, very competitive in the 75 Claimer. Mike does an excellent job with him. And he shows up. You know, he's a grinder. He knows what a winner's circle is. Put him in play, he's going to get you there every time. So.
And you had to choose here. You had Keystone Camaro you were named on also, right?
Yeah, and he raced really good last week. Got a nice trip, just got beat. But Stormin Rustler, I mean, what could you say? You know, he's 75 claims. He's 1-2 every week in there. So
let's turn over to race 3 and look at number 8, Bo So Hot. You had a nice trip with him, first time driving last start. He's listed as 12-1 here, moving up in class. What about Bo So Hot on a repeat try?
I think I'm going to try to race him the same way I did last week. You know, he seemed to get out of there pretty steady. Just had a good, nice 2-hole trip. Pulled on him, he went on him, and he raced good.
Is it easier? Do you like driving against the best drivers or drivers who maybe aren't as talented?
Definitely going with the better ones. You know what I mean? Like, and listen, we all make mistakes out there. I've made my plenty of share of them. You know what I mean? But racing against the better ones, it's like going from the minors to the majors. You're going to learn a lot more. You know, growing up watching all these guys, you kind of know where they're at, what they're going to do. It's a lot easier, you know. I mean, I think it makes yourself better.
Yeah, you told me before you're a fan of Mr. Magic Man, Billy O'Donnell, growing up.
Yeah, childhood idol growing up. Loved him, you know what I mean? He's just natural, great person, you know. It's just my idol growing up.
And he still holds some records, too.
Yeah,
the richest race won ever, the fastest time trial ever.
Yeah.
Billy O, still to this day, still holds those records.
No,
it's pretty impressive.
Very well.
Let's turn to the 6th race. You have a choice here again between King Royalty and number 8, the Australian horse, Major Buddy, who won his debut. What was your impression of the first time here in North America?
I liked him a lot. Noel grabbed me before the races last week, and he told me a little bit about him. He says, you know, he don't go with an overcheck. He'll get his head down. He said, but he'll set himself at the gate. He says, you don't have to be on the lead with him. You race him any way you want, but it just happened to be that race. I thought the best place to be was on the lead. And, you know, he raced unbelievable. He was very good.
A horse that looks like he wants a little bit more, you think?
I think he could handle it, yep.
Okay, that's good. And now let's flip over if we can. Let's go to race number 8, Spirit of Truth. For Brian McGee, what about Spirit of Truth chances tonight?
He raced okay last week. I know the line don't look good that good, but, you know, he still pays 51, home 28 in a piece. I'm going to give him a chance. You know, Brian's pretty good. You know, he does his work. We'll put him in play somehow.
Okay, and then let's go to race number 11 for number 3, Buckeye in Charge. If you missed the fun 2 weeks ago at 48-1, last week you almost had some more fun at nice price. What about Buckeye in Charge? Is he getting better and better?
I think so. I mean, off that win, everything worked out perfect. You know, I never had to move him to the middle of the stretch. Got room, he exploded through, he win. And it's nice to drive for Joe. I know Joe since I was a kid. He was up in Monticello with his son Mike. You know, it's nice to reconnect with the old people sometimes. I don't mean old by any means, Joe.
I think you meant me, Ken, and Sam when you said old. I don't know. What about motorcycles? You got your own bike?
I have a Harley Road King. Yep, I try to ride as much as I can, but being on the road is not a really lot of time. But every time I get to go on it, I go on it.
And on the side, you do some coaching too, right?
Yeah, my son Joey's football and baseball. Actually, he tried out for the All-Star team today. I haven't heard from him. I'm hoping he made it. Good luck to you, Joe.
Yeah,
And,
you know, we don't have the trotting and pacing guide anymore, but I got to check. Does that 24-second quarter still hold in that world record you set?
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
You hold the world record for a quarter mile.
24 seconds flat, yep.
That was where was that?
That was at Vernon Downs when it was a 3/4 mile track. We came out of the chute, and they told us as soon as you hit the main track, just go all you can go. And I think he could have went more, but I think 24 was pretty steady.
And that record holds 20 years later. Pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Greg Merton,
that was pretty cool.
You're making an impact here at the Meadowlands. Keep up the good work. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
We'll hope to see a lot more of you here.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
you do
Greg.
a good job yourself.
Thank you, Greg.